Today we're going to cover the second day of literal equations. So that means it could possibly be more than just one step. So let's just review day one. So on problem one, we're going to solve for n. So since it's multiplication, we're going to divide. So I'll need to get rid of that a. So I'm going to divide both sides by a. That cancels out. So n equals d divided by a. Number two, we're going to solve for n. So let's get rid of that denominator of a 3. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So n equals, we write our number before our letter when we're multiplying. Number 3, we're going to solve for t, which is on the right side. But again, this is multiplication. So the inverse of multiplication is division. We're going to divide both sides by 5. So therefore, t equals d divided by 5. Number 4, we're going to solve for y. So remember, I showed you a couple ways. One way is taking this and moving it over to the other side. And anytime you move something from one side of the equation to the other, it changes sign. So basically, this would look like 8 minus 2x. Number 5, it says solve each equation or formula for the variable specified. So this is where it may get into more than just one step. So on this one, it says right here, solve for y. So we first need to get rid of that 3x, and we're going to move it over to the other side. So we have 4y equals 7 minus 3x. Now then, we're not quite done. We still need to divide everything by 4. So we can do this, or you can just divide all of that by 4 so it looks like this. And as you see, I have included some multiple choice here. So we can go 7 minus 3x, or you might also see it written as negative 3x plus 7 all over 4. So negative 3x plus 7 would be your letter A. And if we split this apart, meaning if you divide 4 by each of the two terms, a term would be negative 3x is a term, and then 7 is another term. So if you take negative 3x divided by 4, it's going to look like negative 3/4x. If you take 7 divided by 4, of course, that's going to be 7 over 4. All right, let's go on to problem 6. We're going to solve for y. So I'm going to take this 10x and I'm going to move it over. So I have 5y equals x. The positive 10x is going to become negative. Okay, and so I'm going to go through and I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So the big fraction would be y equals x minus 10 all over 5. The split apart would be y is equal to x over 5 minus, now then, this is 10 over 5, but 10 over 5 reduces to 2. So we would just put 2 right there. Number 7, we're going to solve for m. So we're going to take this b and we're going to move it over to the other side. So you would have, now I'm going to go ahead and write mx on the left and then y minus b. So I just kind of flip those around so that my m will be on the left side. So then I'm going to divide everything by x because, again, I'm solving for m. So the big fraction would be y minus b all over x. The split apart would be y over x minus b over x. Number 8, we're going to solve for t. So first of all, we're going to move this 5 over to the other side. So we're going to have pt equals n. That positive 5 when moved across the equal sign becomes a minus 5. And now if I want to solve for t, this is multiplication. So I'm going to divide everything or both sides by p. So the big fraction would be t equals n minus 5 all over p. And then the split apart would be n over p minus 5 over p. And on the back side, it says do the work, then look at your choices that you have there. So if we do the work, if we solve for L, that means we're going to divide because it's multiplication. So the inverse of multiplication is division. So we want L equals A over W, which is this letter choice A. All right, number 13. Or wait, we're going down to 10. Go down to 10. So here we're going to solve for H. Now then, all of this is multiplication. 2 times pi times r times h. So what we can do, since we know the inverse of multiplication is division, we can actually divide by 2 pi and r to leave h by itself. But whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So this cancels, cancels, cancels. So we're left with h equals s over 2 pi r, which is answer choice A. Number 11, we're going to solve for B. So first of all, we need to take this f and move it over to the other side. Since it's a positive f, we're going to make that, when we move it over to the other side, a negative f. So I'm going to put my 2b on the left because I'm going to end up solving for b. Equals s minus f. And then I have left to divide everything by 2. So it's going to look like letter A. Again, it seems to be a popular answer. All right, number 12, we need to solve for D. This is a little bit more in depth, but remember, we've been working a lot with eliminating fractions. So I want to get rid of that 2. So I'm going to multiply by 2. That cancels out. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I have 2t equals r h d. Now, I want to keep d where it is. So, and all this is multiplication. So remember, the inverse of multiplication is division. So I can divide by more than one term. So I'm going to divide by RH. So they cancel out. So basically, you're going to have D equals 2T over RH, which this time is answer choice B. Okay, all right, so now we're going to go back up to the top on the right side and catch number 13. So here we're going to solve for D. Now we have to get rid of that R in the denominator. So it's just like if it was a number. So we're going to multiply by R, cancel. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So we're going to have RT equals 3D. Or what I've been doing before is, since I'm going to solve for D, I can put that on the left and put RT on the right. And then all we have left to do is divide by 3 because we're solving for D. So D equals RT over 3, which is answer choice B. All right, number 14. We're going to solve for H. So first of all, let's get rid of that 5. So we're going to multiply that by 5 to get rid of that denominator. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. And since I'm solving for H, I'm going to put this 2BH on the left equals 5 times A is 5A. So this is all multiplication over here on the left. If I want to solve for H, I have to leave H by itself. So the inverse of multiplication is division. I'm going to divide both sides by 2B. Cancels a 2, cancels a B. So there you have H is equal to 5A over 2B, which is answer choice A. Number 15, I want to solve for C. So let's get rid of that 2. Cancel out, times 2. Now, since I'm going to solve for C, it's over on the right. I'm going to put it on the left. Just flip things around. So AC is equal to 2P. Since this is multiplication, I'm going to divide by A to get rid of that. So C equals 2P over A, which is answer choice B. And then number 16, we are going to solve for B squared. So first of all, let's get rid of that denominator, which is the H. Whatever you do to one side, we're going to do to the other. And since we're solving for B squared, which is on the right side right now, I'm going to go ahead and write that on the left. So 2B squared is equal to, And it really doesn't matter if you want to put HM or MH. I'm just going to put HM because H appears first in the alphabet. That's really the only reason why. And now if we're going to solve for b squared, we have to get rid of that 2. Well, this is 2 times b squared. So the inverse of multiplication is division. So b squared equals HM over 2, or you're going to see it here as MH over 2, which is the very same thing. So that is answer choice A.